So we're going to start by working on video 4, and the thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to be creating bosses here for the front of this part and creating a slot also as well in one of the bosses, and putting a shell and the blending the part completely or partially. We're going to go under format, select layer settings. I'm going to scroll down here to where I had the labels for this video 4, turn it off. For our convenience, what I have done here, I have removed the datum planes or placing on a different layer as well as all the sketches. So now that we have a clean part, we're going to start by selecting, creating a datum plane. We need this datum plane as an auxiliary datum. We're going to put an associative to the face, to the bottom face, and we're going to resize the datum plane so we can visualize it better. Hit OK. We're going to create another datum from this front face, reverse the direction. I'm going to type a 5 and resize it also as well, just for visualization purposes only. Hit OK to that. And now we are going to place a datum axis at the intersection of the plane that we created on one side face. We'll do the same thing on the opposite side. We're creating these axes so we can center the bosses when we create the bosses. We're going to create another datum plane here that we're going to need for the center line of the slot. So selecting the center of the axis and selecting that face will give us the alternative for creating an angle. So we have a 90 here. We're going to change this maybe to a negative angle of 135. We leave it associative, so if we wish to change the direction or the rotation of that angle, we can do that later on as well. We have that established the datum planes that we need to place the bosses. So we go under the boss operator. And the diameter of the boss that we're going to place is 20, the height is 35, and notice that the direction is downwards, so we're going to reverse the side in which the boss is going to be created. Accept those values and hit OK. Now we're going to place the center of the arc by using point onto line, which means the center of the arc is going to be in line with, perhaps we can put it in relationship to this datum plane, and that gives us a value of 0 in the y direction. And if we want point and line also on the x direction, so we could let's see what we can do here. Why don't we select this axis? That axis would give us a 0 and hit OK. It places the boss in the right location. Let's create one more boss. Same size, 20 by 35. Be sure that reverse the side. We're going to do the same process. Point onto line, select the same datum plane. Point onto line, well, yeah, we can do that. Select the axis and hit OK. We have the bosses where we want in. And now we are going to create the slot. We're going to create the slot, selecting the face. We're going to be sure that we have selected horizontal reference. We're going to select that datum plane. Same values. Well, no, we're going to change this 25, 10. And the depth is the same height as the boss. Hit OK for them. We're going to be line onto line. Let's place the center of that hole first. So we want to have the arc in relationship to the axis, so we can select this axis here, select the center of this arc, make that a 0 value, and we'll select the datum plane that we originally created on the center of this slot, and that positions the slot the orientation that we want to have it. So pretty much that takes care of the two bosses in the front and the slot. Give you a general idea how to create bosses, how to place them in a situation like this. Remember, the trick is to place that particular plane at the bottom. Now let's go ahead and apply the blends. We can apply the blends 10 radius to this little edge here. Rotate the part and do the opposite side, and the two ones in the front. We don't need one here on this edge because that will be taken care of for the back. We'll take care of this later on simultaneously because we got to create a pocket on the other edge of this particular bracket. So now we're going to shell the part by piercing all of these sides. And see how we're shelling the part. Change the thickness here to a 2 and hit OK. Fantastic. Alright, this pretty much concludes this presentation for this particular videos. I hope that these have helped you out, and we'll continue learning. Let's put the pocket here before we have a little extra time here so we can add the pocket. So let's find where the pocket is. We don't have an icon, so we have to go under Insert. We're going to Design Feature and find Pocket. Select Rectangular Pocket. Select the face where we can place it, and let's see if we can find a horizontal reference. And let's try to get this here on the front. I don't seem to be able to pick it, so it doesn't matter what I select, as long as I can select something that allows me to do. Kind of moving too fast, I can actually try to do this edge. It doesn't matter if it's horizontal or vertical. So I'm going to enter the length, put a value of 40. For the width, I'm going to enter the value of let's say 20. On the depth, just go with 5, even though I only have 2. But if we change the thickness, we're going to be extra here. Let's go line into line by selecting this edge and this edge, and that makes a value of 0. Let's create this other edge and the other edge and the other direction, and there is the pocket. Okay. This pretty much concludes the video presentation for this part, and the most important, even though I don't bother putting a hole here, that's fine, we're gonna ignore it. And remember, we use the shell here. On this area here we have a tab that I just demo on the first part of the first video, so I'm not gonna bother with it. Perhaps later on I'll show you some way of creating that particular part. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again.